What's going on? Welcome back to the Look Mum, I'm Hustling podcast. And look, Dad, we're hustling as well. So dads should be aware that we're hustling as well as the mums.
Are we just leaving out dads entirely and just being like, hey to all the mums out there, don't worry about you dads. Don't care about you dads,
Well,
just
that's
the
not
mums.
the common phrase is, look, Mum, no hands, or look, Mum, I'm doing this.
Yeah.
And, or there's like the Panic at Disco song, look, Ma, I made it. Maybe we should incorporate some dad element into it. I mean, I do have dog dad hat on. Dog dad afternoon. Maybe we need to add maybe a secondary show for the dads.
For the dad, look,
Daddy
dad.
hour.
Daddy hour. Hey, daddy.
Hey, daddy.
But you picked up that hat today, and I thought there was a video that was called Dog Dad, but it's called Plant Dad. And it's just a Jimmy Fallon, Andy Samberg YouTube video of them just saying how much they're plant dads.
Right.
Yeah.
So it's just that's what they're proud of, is just being plant owners.
Yeah. I put the link because I just literally found it a second ago. I put the video in there if you wanted to. If you want to watch it, it's pretty funny.
You brought it up. So
Yeah.
you want to, yeah?
It's a classic Andy Samberg song. It's going to come up with obviously a ad to begin with, as all YouTube, most videos do come up with. But would you call yourself, actually, we're probably not the best plant parents. We try.
We're not green thumbs by any means.
No.
If a website has malware
We're better with
from your browser,
we're better with animals than we are with plants, which is what you'd want.
Arguable.
All these ads.
No, we're too cheap for.
You guys, spring is good friends. Plant Dad. Plants love me. Dig them, raise them. 1, 2, 3. Go into the garden, get on my knees. Give a little drink to my bonsai trees. I've got my pot, I've got my seeds. I give little kisses to the itty bitty leaves.
We get it.
That's my dream. I like to go green, if you know what I mean. I know what you mean. I love plants too. My wife is leaving me for another man. I'm a plant dad. I love plants. Water them, sun
Anyway,
them.
that's what your hat reminded me of.
that
I'm a
fun.
plant dad. I'm a dog dad.
So I'm a dog dad. That's the one thing I have responsibility over.
Mm-hmm.
He's a little poochy boy, and he's not here right now. Someone else is taking care of him for the 1 hour I get to put my feet up for the week.
Yes.
And record this pod. So thank you guys for listening, for tuning in to Look Mum, I'm Hustling, episode 72.
Yes.
Very nice number. Is there any significance to the number 72? Is it like a prime number or something?
I'm not sure.
No, it's divided by
You're asking like the
36.
wrong person for this one here about numbers and stuff. There's probably every number has a meaning, right? Like,
Does it?
yeah. So you can even you probably won't, but you can Google what is the meaning of number 72. Like
Significance.
yeah.
I'm afraid it's going to be some sort of dilemma or disastrous number.
Well, it's like marriage anniversaries and stuff every year like symbolizes something. So
Every single year.
yeah. So every anniversary like means something. So obviously, I don't know, like year 50 that you married, it's like worth a gold or a diamond or something.
If that's divisible, that's in increments of 25. I don't think that's like your 33rd anniversary. I don't think it works in every single year.
You get a book. Probably not the 33rd,
No.
but yeah.
If you get in the books 33 years down the track, I mean, I feel sorry for you, I guess.
Unless you love books and then it's a perfect gift.
Well, that's true.
Yeah.
Every year you just get the number of books that you've been married. So that means you can stay away from your wife or your husband for the entire year. It's a 50-year anniversary. You get 50 books. That's 50 weeks of reading. That means hundreds of less hours to spend with your partner. Great way to spend your
So a book is
marriage.
almost like a gift for both people, right? One person gets to read and the other person
Yeah.
gets to keep the other person busy.
That's true. That is very true. And I've thought about it like that, but we just shone some light on why relationships work. We should be relationship experts.
Yeah, one person needs to be a reader and the other person needs to just doing their own thing.
Well, that could tie into this first little article that I found. It's not really, it's financial advice, but it's for couples specifically.
Right.
And I guess relationships.
Mhm.
And it's something that we've dealt with in the past. I haven't even really looked at this, and I don't think you have either.
No.
But I guess just speaking from our experience, that's all we have to speak on. We can weigh in on this article and what our thoughts are and stuff. So this is from Forbes.com. Should couples merge their finances? New research weighs in. And let me get rid of
There's
this.
a little X symbol there. Yep.
Thank you.
Welcome.
So a new study published in the Journal of Consumer Research investigates how merging finances in a joint bank account affects the quality of relationships for engaged or newlywed couples. The study reveals that couples who merge their finances enjoy a protective effect that safeguards against the decline in relationship quality over time. Researchers conducted a 2-year, 6-wave longitudinal experiment where participants were divided into 3 groups: merging finances, keeping separate accounts, or no intervention. So the control group. And the results were that couples who kept separate accounts or had no intervention, so they just kept carrying on as if they weren't part of the study, experienced the usual decline in relationship quality over time. However, couples who merged their finances were shielded from the decline. So they weren't completely gone in terms of all their troubles weren't completely gone, but it was less of an effect.
Gotcha.
So mainly due to involved financial harmony among the joint accounts, resulting in less conflict, higher satisfaction. So really all it's saying is communication is key across the board, right? And it's more specifically with this article to do with finances.
Right, because I know we've touched on it in the past before, but we joined our bank accounts like ridiculously early on, not ridiculously early, but pretty early on in our relationship. The main reason why was because we wanted to pay off debt, but also travel for a little bit as well. And the only way we could do that was having a joint account where the funds were going into sort of like one central location. But as time went on, and I think after like reading Barefoot Investor and Rich Dad Poor Dad and Gordon Ramsay. Is it Gordon Ramsay? The other book
Gordon
guy?
Ramsay didn't
No,
write
not
a
Gordon Ramsay.
financial
Dave
book.
Ramsay. Dave Ramsay, the other Ramsay.
Yeah.
Just having, now we've got like just one main like central sort of account that everything gets paid out of. And that's sort of like what it's sort of evolved in over time, but it's definitely made things a lot easier. It's definitely made things, I guess, a lot more transparent on, I guess, how much we need to save and things like that. I mean, you're the whiz. You're the one who came up with the spreadsheet, the breakdown, how we divide our funds percentage-wise.
Yep. I think for us, like you said, it started with the joint effort of paying off the debt and having all the finances in one place means we could attack things faster. The main approach that we did use was the Dave Ramsey approach of snowballing, so paying off. What, is it the smallest debt or the largest debt first?
It's the smallest
one.
Yeah.
So then if something is $10 a week, for example, you get that debt paid off first, and then that $10 is rolled into the next one, which may be $20. So straight away, you've got $30 to attack that one. And then once that's paid, then all the money snowballs up into the larger one.
Yes.
So if you have 8 debts that you were paying off, the 7 that have been attacked, all of that money that was paying for those 7 now can be rolled up and snowballed into attacking the bigger debt, right? So
100%.
and it's also about chipping away at all the interest and stuff you're accruing as well.
Yeah, because the way that we sort of started, we had, I think it was like a little bit of a zip pay debt. Then we had like, I had a credit card, you had a credit card. We sort of paid those off, and then it sort of helped snowball into paying off. There was like a bigger.
We paid off the car and everything like that.
Yes, that was like the bigger ones.
So yeah, for us, it came down to having a goal that we both wanted to attack together, and then in terms of paying off debt, but then also a goal of saving for a holiday, for example. I was just brought up the show we were watching on Netflix, How to Get Rich with. I forget what his name is, Ramit Sethi. And a lot of the conversations in the episodes in that episode with the couples just highlight how much disparity and lack of communication there can be in couples that don't have their finances joint together. I'm not saying this is not financial advice to do it if you're in a relationship and you don't have your finances joint with your partner, but it's definitely something to consider, because it just means, like this article, this first study that we're showing, it just opens up the communication waves and allows everyone to be on the same page and not monitor, because you can still overspend with the joint account, obviously, but just being on the same wavelength in knowing that you just have a combined goal and you're both attacking it at the same time.
Yeah.
But on this show, for example, there's couples that just don't at all have joint finances, and that's generally the cause of a lot of the frustrations.
Or even the anxiety behind it, because one of the things is a lot of people have anxiety behind debt. Like, debt's very terrifying and it can just build up over time, especially if you're not systematically paying it off. And if we weren't transparent about our debt to begin with early on, like how much your credit card was, how much my credit card was, we wouldn't be able to tackle it together and pay it off together. And in that show, a lot of them are hiding how much debt
from
they have.
From their partner. The partner doesn't even know how much they're paying or how much they owe to begin with.
Or how much is even in their own savings accounts to begin with. Like they have no idea and they're living in the same household. They've been married or they're about to get married. Money is one of those things like, yes, it can be scary, but it's super important to make sure that your other half is 100% aware of how much is going into that account. Yes, it might seem a little, not controlling, but it might seem, I guess, not as important if you've been under your own finances for so long. But if you're going to be sharing your life with someone, then they need to know, I guess, how much of that income is coming in because it's so essential to living.
Yeah, it's about trust building. There's not much, well, there's other things to trust others within life, but finances is one of those things that you need to survive.
Yes.
So it's for us, it's been a game changer. And we're just on the same page every week in terms of what's getting paid, who's spending what. We're not big spenders anyway, but majority of the time we're not seeking approval from the other person. We're just acknowledging and letting them know this amount is getting spent for this reason.
Yeah.
And because it's so few and far between, the times that we do spend a significant chunk for ourselves, it's usually on something like a pair of running shoes or something that you need anyway. It's not like going to buy comic books or anything. It's just that open transparency, trust, and like communication is the foremost important thing in this, in regards to finances anyway. So,
and I think also having a goal as well, because we had that goal of paying off debt and then going on a holiday. But after that finished, we didn't really have another goal in mind. So we were just spending more money than we planned to. We weren't really keeping track of it or anything like that. So now that we have a new goal of, saving for a house deposit and saving for another holiday and just making sure that we have a pretty decent emergency fund, like having those 3 goals in mind really helps align the finances and make sure there isn't a lot of excess being wasted. Like it's pretty much all accounted for. So yes, like being transparent, but also having a goal of like what you want to do with that money as well, because without a goal or without a purpose, then
it'll just slip aside.
Exactly.
So to finalize, this study offers 3 potential reasons why the merging of finances leads to positive relationship outcomes. Number 1, joint accounts can prompt partners to consider how they justify purchases, which we just touched on, to each other, leading to reduced conflict and improved financial well-being. The transparency, so point number 2, the transparency created by opening a joint account can allow partners to better understand each other's priorities and align their financial goals, which we just talked about. And number 3, merging money in a joint account can promote a sense of togetherness and eliminate the dynamic of your money versus my money.
So the whole breadwinner analogy, in a way.
Which was, again, another problem in that How to Get Rich show. There was a couple that there was a stay-at-home dad and his partner was making majority of the money, and there was that segmentation of whose money is what rather than having that united front.
And actually that took us a while because as you were building your business, you weren't earning as much as I was, and it took a while to get that my money is your money and your money is my money, and now everything's just ours. Like we don't have that segregation of any finances anymore. It's just both of us because we both work equally as hard.
Yeah, and it's kind of different as well because the income that you make and income that I make aren't that far apart.
No.
Whereas
now they're not, which is awesome.
I can imagine it being harder if, for example, one half of the partnership is making $4,000 a week and one's making $1,000. Then there's a much bigger gap in pay there.
Yes.
So I can understand why that would present more challenges. But when it's, within like 10% of something of one another, then it's not that bad. Another thing to consider is also just if you have all the money lumped together, then potentially can generate more interest and things like that. And just the savings rate, if you have money just sitting in a savings account, can go up faster because you have more money lumped together. So there's plenty of aspects to it, but
yeah, that's actually another valid point. Again, we're not financial experts here. This is just going based off our own experiences and what we've been through. But we've also recently moved our savings account to another high interest rate savings account. And it's just about being aware of the market or what your own bank offers. So yeah, we made that decision because it was like a whole 1% higher.
Yep.
So, gets a little bit extra money every month.
1% is massive difference. playing devil's advocate for this article, though, you can still reap a lot of these benefits of having a joint account if you and your partner don't have the accounts together. So, for example, we're talking about transparency, communication, having a united front. All of those things can still be achieved with separate accounts if you just sit down and open up the books and share them with your partner and make time to open that topic up for conversation. So it's not saying you must do this in order to reap these benefits. You can still get them. It's just you have to do the work.
Yeah. But it's about just having that conversation, whether it's weekly or monthly, just having a finance check-in.
Yeah.
Just so
at least once a month, the minimum. Yeah.
Yeah.
You talked that in that part there.
Oh, sorry. Well, that's the whole thing. Like, it's always very beneficial. We find it beneficial. I mean, it's helped us, book another holiday that will hopefully go at the end of the year.
Hopefully going. We pay for the flights. I'm going with or without you.
That's what you said, yeah. If I get sick, too bad, I'm going.
I'm taking your seat. I'll spread my legs on that
your
tiny
long
little
legs.
Air Asia flight. So looking forward to that. But yeah, just something to talk about relationships following on from the 50th anniversary or the anniversary conversation. Do we have anything else that leads into that? Did I just butcher a segue?
Maybe. No, I don't think so. We
went from Andy Samberg to finances.
Dog dads to, relationships. Why not? I don't think I have anything that ties into couples. Everything else is kind of
find a linkage for us, would you?
Separate.
You can't remember what you put in here, do you?
No, I do remember. And just trying to figure out
how's your week been? Let's find her out.
Yeah.
If you can't go through it, you must go under it or around it or over it. Figure out another way.
Good advice. Yeah. The week has been okay. This is the second week of my holidays. As always, it's gone too fast. We have a running joke of when it's Wednesday, it's actually Sunday. So as soon as it hits that Thursday morning or even that Wednesday night, the rest of the week is pretty much gone for us because it's always so busy towards the end of it. So I have to go back to work on my normal day job on Monday, which should be okay. I've been enjoying staying at home and working on the business. And then, actually what we did was did all the business work on the Monday, Tuesday, and now there's only light work
for the
going
rest
forward.
Of the week.
Yeah, for that, which is
That's hard.
not
Imagine
too bad.
doing that every week, working guns blazing for 2 days and then having 5 days, not necessarily off, but you're only working at like 10, 20% of your normal output for the rest of those days. I don't know if it's like it's kind of flies in the it's kind of batching, I guess, because you're just doing 2 gigantic days, but you still have to put your foot into the game a little bit for the rest of the week. So I don't know if it's worth like chipping away a little bit each day so it's not quite as burdensome, or just batching the hell out of it for 2 days, because those 2 days you don't really get much chance to do anything else.
No. And how's your week been? You've done 2 weeks now of doing your solo live / podcast.
I've done 2 hours of podcast on my own. That's just a fun thing. Other than that, it's been fun. I've had you off, been busting your balls the whole time, which is always delightful.
My figurative of balls.
But yeah, it's just another week for me. I don't know. They're just flying by. I can't believe this is episode 72.
I know. So on the weekend, we're going to really try just the 2 days off just to relax and watch movies and, just try not to do anything, which will be always a challenge. I know if I read, I can be distracted for the whole day. I might get a little bit antsy, so I'll work out or go for a walk or take Archie out. But I know that's going to be an extra challenge for yourself to switch off and not think about work and actually enjoy a movie marathon.
Try them.
Yeah.
So one thing we can watch, although it does have bad reviews and a lot of heat coming after them right now, is the new Marvel TV show Secret Invasion.
Right.
So we've talked about AI and stuff a bunch in the past, generative AI into form of Midjourney and things like that. Marvel have actually been criticized for using AI to make the opening credits of their new show, Secret Invasion, which I think only has 1 episode out.
I remember you saying the headline, but I don't know anything about it. Like, why did they get criticized for using it?
Because just think about it for a second. Marvel. What are they?
Oh, they're like a comic book thing.
They're designed, or their whole enterprise, whole business is built on artists and creators and storytellers and original artwork. And I mean, a lot of the characters aren't new, obviously. It's just new iterations of them, new artists doing their rendition of it. But generally, it's the same looking character.
Yeah.
But to rely on AI to generate artwork instead of an actual artist, that's where the backlash is coming in.
But if you think about it, the secret invasion of AI getting in there.
You're really stretching for straws. I don't know. That's
Oh, that looks whack, though.
Yes, that's the problem. You can't. It's not going to be that great. But yeah, Marvel are getting criticized for using AI instead of a fresh artist, an up-and-coming artist, for example, to do the artwork. Because it's the easy way out, right? And that's why I use Midjourney, because it's the easier way out than learning how to do art from scratch. So Marvel Studios is from VentureBeat.com. Marvel Studios has been a global entertainment juggernaut for the last 15 years, turning beloved but sometimes obscure comic book franchises into massive successes in TV and film. In its latest TV series, Secret Invasion, debuting on Disney+, starring Samuel L. Jackson in his iconic role as former S.H.I.E.L.D. director Nick Fury, has been met with immediate backlash upon its premiere today, June 21, over the use of AI to generate the imagery of the title cards in the opening sequence. So people are disappointed. I'll bring up some artwork here, and you tell me if you like it, or you can tell immediately that it's a kind of
Whack.
disjointed AI renditions of things.
Oh, it's so disjointed.
So all they've said is put in green and black cityscape, moody.
Looks like a Wizard of Oz, like dystopian style.
So there's that one. There's if you're listening to the pod, we are on YouTube, and the video version is on Spotify as well. If you want to see the visual component of the show, come on over, drop us a like, drop us a sub, drop us
Follow.
another like.
Yeah, why not? Like everywhere.
So this one here of Nick Fury is probably the most egregious one, I would say. That's Samuel L. Jackson.
So whack.
Look at he's basically got a hair lip.
So weird.
It's
Yeah, okay, not a fan.
when you have so much expenses and creative assets at your disposal, like Marvel does, that's where the backlash comes in. Like this one here is a bit whack.
Although it have so many artists on retainer, right? Who's that meant
Like
to be?
there's not a good
No, it's very
not a
bizarre.
good look.
So they just got, they probably got what, Midjourney to generate it for them.
Oh, I would imagine so, or something along those lines.
So bizarre.
So the thing is, it's not like we're in the grey area where you can't tell if it's AI or if it's human made. It's clearly not made by human.
Yeah, because it's just like,
It's just out of proportion and not even like in an abstract, interesting way. It's just whack.
it just looks whack. Yeah.
So that's a bit sad.
Interesting. Okay.
Even a former Marvel concept artist who claimed to have worked on the series itself joined in on the dog pile, tweeting, "Secret Invasion intro is AI generated. I'm devastated. I believe AI to be unethical, dangerous, and designed solely to eliminate artists' careers." That's a pretty intense take. I spent almost half a year working on this show and had a fantastic experience working with the most amazing people I ever met. But it's
Like, I don't think
it's just disappointing just because it's Marvel, you know?
Yeah. Like, I don't think it's going to be getting rid of artists' jobs. Like,
No.
artists can, and we've talked about this before, where it's just can elevate that to the next stage. But the fact that they, just did purely AI is a bit unusual. Like, it almost seems like the cheap option. They were probably trying to go for something like cool, or maybe they wanted to generate some kind of interest or hot take. Like, it's one of those things. Now it's in the news, right? Now it's a bit of a controversy, and anything that has a bit of a controversy, people are going to come in and watch it.
Yeah. I can see that. All news is good news. Or not, what do they say?
Drake says all news is bad
No.
news is good news.
No news is good news.
No news is good news,
But then all PR is good PR.
Yeah.
Same kind of thing.
Yeah, something like that.
That's an interesting take. Yeah, like it could just be to muster up some interest in the show.
But it could go either way. People could either boycott it.
It is just the opening credits, though.
Yeah.
It's not. Sometimes the opening credits like the most interesting part.
I say that. You're like, why do you like to watch the opening credits? When it's a new show.
Sometimes.
When it's a new show, I like to watch the opening credits because usually they'll give a bit of a take on what the show is about. Sometimes they'll give Easter eggs. It's usually a theme to it. Obviously, if it's a really, really good show, they'll have like a pretty decent intro like Silo or something like that. If it's just a general comedy or whatever it is, not usually, but sort of if it's like a deep thinking, provoking show, usually the intros or the title credits or whatever it is kind of interesting.
Yeah, a lot more of the drama type things these days. The intros are a lot more alluding to what the show's about and the Easter eggs and that sort of thing.
Yes.
But back in the day, they weren't. They were just like Full House intros, funky song, and
People
just like
just
the
going,
characters, just smiling at the
Yeah,
camera. So I guess it's not the whole show. I mean, if they had AI write the script and stuff, different story.
Yeah.
There is a part of this article here talking about the use of AI. So it says the use of AI to create Secret Invasion's opening credit comes at a particularly fraught time period between major Hollywood studios and the creative community. In terms of like the union strike that's going on, at the moment,
Yes.
renewal of contract payments and streaming in AI era. So I guess I don't really care, to be honest. It's whatever. It's
So it
just
doesn't
the
affect
intro,
your job or you.
But I can understand how Marvel fanboys are pretty butthurt about it.
Yeah, they probably want maybe the original artist, if they're still alive, because I know some of these books are really, really old, to do the artwork for it, to have a light shine or maybe something a little bit more interesting. Yes, it's an unusual thing for a hand-drawn or, like a human-drawn series or, world to be then generated by AI.
All right, so we'll see how this show pans out.
Yeah.
Imagine, because it's coming out week to week. It wouldn't, if there's that much of a backlash and it wasn't purposeful, I wonder if they have enough turnaround time to like change the opening credit for next week's episode.
Interesting. If they don't, then it was purposeful.
Because they would have the time and the resources to employ a half dozen artists to like pump out over the next 2 days a new intro, replace that,
100%.
and then send it back to the Disney Plus, I guess, servers or wherever hosts the video.
There's probably some fan out there already that have done like a mock-up and be like, my version's better.
100%.
Yeah.
100%.
Because people do that all the time. They'll recut someone's trailer or things like that and be like, this version's better. Like, why couldn't it be like this?
All right, so time will tell. I don't think we're going to do a follow-up on this topic, though. It's kind of just a little side one.
Little side note there. Had to touch on AI for a little bit,
And we don't even actually have Disney Plus to check this out.
No. The last time we had it was to watch the Han Solo series and then we cancelled it. So it's one of those ones that we cancel and get all the time, just depending on what we want to watch on that platform.
Yeah, it's Star Wars or Marvel. There's not much else on there unless you want to build a snowman.
Yeah, we have too many active at the moment. And it's been near impossible to choose something to watch because there's just been so many options. That's what's the problem sometimes.
Yep.
Too privileged for all of it.
We'll be watching Silo tonight. I think it's episode 9 is out.
Is it the last one?
No, but there should be 10 episodes of Silo.
It has been really good. We'll probably do a bit of a recommendation on that when we finish watching.
I think we will, for sure.
Yeah.
So episodes 9 out tonight and then 10 next week.
Oh, okay. Because last night ended up in a cliffhanger. The last couple have been ending in cliffhangers, so not the best. We try to... Actually, this is one we've actually been watching week for week, so sometimes we'll wait until it's all out, but it's really enjoyable.
I wonder if there'll be a season, because there's 3 books, if they follow it up for a season 2.
Depends what happens at the end of... Because we haven't read the books, so...
In June, the series has been renewed for a second season, so that's always good.
It's not even finished. That means it's really good.
So perhaps
enjoying
it's
it.
1 season per book.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome.
Makes sense. It's really good. Really enjoying
Started filming 3 days ago.
Oh, okay. Well, there you go.
There you go.
Good to know that we're going to get another one.
All right, so what else is happening?
What's a fun one? Did you know that Mark Zuckerberg and Elon Musk are going to get into a fight?
No, they're not.
Yeah.
That's just...
Is it fake news?
100% is fake news.
It just reminded me of, what's that claymation boxing one? The celebrity
death match.
Yeah.
We just have like Stone Cold Steve Austin fighting like Paul Abdul or something.
Yeah, it was super random. It just reminded me of that, of just like a claymation version of them fighting. and it used to be just the most random. Did they actually like kill each other in the show?
Yeah, it's called deathmatch for
Yes,
a
they
reason.
actually died.
They
Yeah.
would just die in horrific different ways, acid and chainsaws and whatever.
Do you think that show would be okay now?
Yeah, it's just it's a parody. It used to be on MTV, I believe.
Yes.
And it's not. It was never really making fun of anyone in terms of like defaming their likeness or their personality or their career or anything. It was literally just a goof off.
Yeah, but if they had a particular like facial feature that would exaggerate like the way that they looked.
Not really.
Yeah, look it up. Like the Celebrity Deathmatch, they would have exaggerated like certain features.
I watched a lot of them.
Oh, did you?
Like they wouldn't have exaggerated that much. I don't recall them doing that. They were pretty. In terms of you made a clay thing and you were like a clay expert, is pretty much spot on.
Okay.
They're not like putting on gigantic ears onto someone that has big ears.
To be honest, it's been a very, very long time I watched it, but as soon as I saw that news article, I was like, really?
So what's it saying? It's saying, let's get ready to rumble. Zuckerberg agrees to fight Musk in cage match. It's not going to happen. It's just...
Let's who knows, because I have actually been caught out by fake news once before. Was it the Jay-Z one? Not Jay-Z, Puff Daddy and the police.
Yes. So you brought up a topic and the morning...
The next day.
No, it was that... okay, I'll give you a bit of grace here. The day after we spoke about it, it was clearly just a troll job by
Puff Daddy, who was like his over exaggeration. P. Diddy? Puff Daddy?
P. Duffy.
P. Duffy? Whatever his name is. Sean Diddy.
Sean Diddy McPuffcomb. So this is saying Tesla CEO Elon Musk and Meta CEO Zuckerberg could step into the octagon after openly teasing each other on social media. It's never going to happen, not in a million years.
No, they're just trying to up their cred points, I think.
So on June 20, Musk tweeted that he'd be up for a cage match with Zuckerberg after learning that Meta plans to release a Twitter alternative named Threads.
Oh, that's what it's called.
We even missed the name.
Okay.
You said it was going to be called Penny.
I thought a penny was a cute name for it because a penny for your thoughts. But Threads is... So wait,
Twitter already has
No, they call it a thread, right? Like when you have like more Twitters in a row, tweets in a row.
That's a bit of a stab. So in response, Zuckerberg screen capped Musk's tweet, added send me location and posted it to his Instagram story. Zuckerberg does do a lot of jiu-jitsu. He's actually won a tournament
I was about to say he won one recently, right? Came first?
Yeah. I don't think Elon Musk stands a chance, to be honest.
No. I think Elon Musk is like a big, tall dude, but I don't think he has any fighting skills, right?
Yeah, this is not.
He's too busy to.
This is never going to happen. Not in a million years.
Zuckerberg will probably beat him anyway. Vegas Octagon. Could you imagine? It'd be as big as Logan Paul and KSI, or Jake Paul and KSI, whatever it is.
It wouldn't be that big.
No. What about McGregor and who did he fight? McGregor and
Mayweather.
Yeah.
It doesn't even come close to that level of interest from the community. People hate CEOs. People love celebrities, not businessmen.
But like that's the whole thing of Mayweather, right? Like he wants people to hate him, so they come and like want to see him lose. So don't people want to come and see them?
He's never lost though.
No, I know, but like that's the whole thing, right? People like he has that persona of being like, hate me and come see me lose, but I'm not going to lose, and you're going to hate me even more for it. Wouldn't that what people would want to go see Zuckerberg and Musk fight it out and see who's going to like beat the shit out of each other?
The thing is, they wouldn't even be a stand-up match. They wouldn't be throwing or kicking or anything.
Because it'd be like heaps different weight classes and stuff, right? As well. Zuckerberg's very lean.
It's a dumb thing to maybe like do a spelling bee or something.
Like a coding bee.
A coding bee, that could be interesting.
Mm.
Code this app from scratch. Could be interesting. That's going to generate even less interest than a
be like
MMA
could you imagine a whole bunch of nerds in like an octagon, but isn't that like an esports thing anyway?
Like a Call of Duty stadium event, and it's just them just like coding.
Yeah.
So fucking lame. Man. Yeah, that's not going to happen.
No.
I don't know why you brought that up, but
a little bit of fun.
I will.
I'll allow it.
I'll allow it this time, and I'll give it 2 minutes of my time.
Okay.
And that's
it.
Time.
Any other articles?
You follow up with something good after that one.
What other ones do I have in there?
All right, so you have Gen Z is lost on what to where to work. You have Google domains is dead. Mm-hmm. Pretty boring. 92.5% of photos are shot with smartphones.
Yeah.
People born before 1990 are sharing trivial skills.
Oh, that's a fun one.
And then Andy Samberg.
Yeah. Do you want a fun one, or do you want the Gen Zs not knowing what to wear in
I
the
want
office
something
now?
that's going to carry us through at least half of the next 25 minutes.
Both of those good. Let's go to the Gen Z one because that's a big thing at the moment, which you never really thought. Like, it's an interesting take on
What they wear to work.
what they don't know where to work. So for the last couple of years, right, most people have been working from home since COVID. So you have like this whole young generation of people now being asked to go into the office space and have no idea what corporate wear is. Because like most corporate places have like a bit, not a uniform, but have like a particular set of clothes that you should be wearing. So they can't be wearing their wide leg jeans and their crop tops or whatever it is. Can't be going in with their loungewear or pajamas and need to figure out like what to wear in the office space. And now you have a whole bunch of stuff on TikTok at the moment of these like millennials teaching Gen Zs on what to wear in the office. You know, black pants, white shirt, that type of stuff.
Oh my God. One question.
Yes.
Where are the parents?
They don't care.
Your parents are supposed to teach you what to wear.
Kids don't listen to their parents. They listen to what people say online instead.
Oh my God. Gen Z is lost on what to wear to work, and TikTok creators have stepped in to provide office style inspiration.
Mm-hmm.
Fucking hell.
I know.
So you can't just be like, what have I seen people on the street going to work wear? I've never used my eyes before. I've never caught the train. I don't know what people wear. Everyone just wears sweaters and jeans.
That's why the whole like the
How dumb
get ready.
people are getting stupid out here.
The whole get ready with me thing. That's why it's so popular. People love those, seeing what other people are wearing for inspo or getting dressed.
Is there an alternative? Is there the opposite of that?
Get ready, like get lazy with me?
No. What's it called?
Bed rotting.
No. What did you say a second ago? There's a whole trend of...
Get ready with me.
So there should be a whole trend on the other spectrum, the other end of the playing field.
Get unready with me.
Yeah, stripping.
Stripping.
Yeah.
That's called OnlyFans.
Oh. Free content though?
Maybe, but there's probably like a people like I think it's like the like nighttime routine, or like get in pajamas with me or something like that, you know, where you get on your trackies and you take off your makeup and you get on your...
That's what I meant. I did stripping. It was like, that was clearly a joke.
I tried to figure out.
All right, so new graduates entering the working world have gotten used to virtual presentations and remote internships. So corporate TikTokers are telling them how to dress appropriately for the office. Most of the class of 2023 entered college just before or during the pandemic, so they haven't had the chance to integrate their personal style into work-appropriate attire. Cue the content creators sharing style tips on how to become a corporate baddie after getting used to taking Zoom calls in sweatpants.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. TikTok's hashtag office outfit has been viewed over 800 million times.
It's a lot.
Yeah, but there's also a lot of people.
Mm-hmm.
And similar hashtags have had several hundred millions. Young employees are still figuring out what style choices are okay in an office and which ones are best saved for weekends. I don't have time for this.
But like we work in the clothing business, right?
Yeah.
So it's one of those things, as more people are to go into the office, like corporate wear, things like that, just that particular style and like what to wear in the office, what's appropriate.
Depends on the job.
It does.
So this chick here's like putting on classic black work pants and a black top and like a brown
beigey jumper,
knitted sweater thing, and then cons.
Yeah.
No one's wearing cons in an office. I'm not here to say all females must wear high heels in the office or whatever, but you can't wear cons in the office.
Some like a lot of more office spaces are getting heaps more relaxed now. It's like
I think
the
it has to be a definition of like what is office, because it could be an office where you're sitting behind a desk and no one sees your feet all day, or it could be somewhere where you're in an office and you have to walk clients back and forth and you can't just have sneakers on.
Well, it just depends. Like the whole, this is coming down to the debate now, the whole office genre and what is appropriate, what's not appropriate. It's like it's been slowly changing over time. Like it used to be one of those misogynistic, what's the word? Fire out.
Misogynistic.
Yes, thank you. Where women had to wear heels. And that's really not the case anymore. So people can sort of, wear flat shoes or wear, just nice looking sneakers. Because like a pair of Converse is probably going to be more expensive than a pair of heels that a woman can wear into work anyway. You can get really cheap, like people wear like $30, heels from like Target or like Kmart or whatever, but then you come in with, $300 Air Jordans. Like what, like.
Yeah, no, I've never said Air Jordan. I said Converse. They're $60.
Yeah, no, but you can get like the really fancy Converse that are like $200, like the chunky ones.
You can also get a really fancy lunch if you want to. It doesn't mean it's necessary.
You could, and there's probably a whole, TikTok hashtag of like office lunches. Yeah.
Ma'am, we should just make TikToks.
Yeah, just around office attire, even though that both of us don't work in an office.
I mean, what determines an office?
A corporate building.
Not necessarily.
Just a building, not at home.
An office is basically a wall and a computer.
Yeah, but not at home.
Not necessarily.
But you're not going to, they're talking about like out of the home, like going to travel somewhere to a place of work.
Where people see you.
Yes.
And you're representing
the company.
Yes.
Yes. That's the point.
It depends. It's just like, is it a bank?
Mm-hmm.
Is it a law firm? Is it office at a library?
That's where TikTok comes into play. It can help you out no matter what business you work in.
Okay. Oh man, TikTok. You love your TikTok.
Just the trends at the moment. Just seeing, what's about. I think I'm just getting a lot of like fashion stuff at the moment. So
okay,
yeah.
Fashion and bedwetting. Bedrotting.
Did you say bedwetting? Fashion and bedwetting.
You watch. There'll be a trend now. How to wet your bed without, losing sleep.
I think it's called a adult diaper. Adult nappy to be able to wear. But yeah, so there's a whole generation of people, kids, not knowing.
Have they not heard of Google? Like, we didn't know who taught us. I mean, I've never worked in an office, but who taught us how to wear clothes for an office?
Like our parents did.
Yeah.
Because
so what are my question remains? Where are the parents?
The parents probably said Google it.
Yeah, exactly.
And then so their version of Google is searching on TikTok or YouTube or Shorts or Instagram.
All this is highlighting to me is instead of Googling, watch TikTok.
Yeah.
Which one allows you to lose time faster?
TikTok, 100%.
People aren't catching on to this at all. They're just not working out the problems with TikTok. I'm all for like being a creator and pumping stuff on there, but to go there for answers, I mean, what are we doing? Watching people have eggs explode out of microwaves. That's what I said. I went on there for 2 seconds to post a clip of this show, and then I watched people blowing up eggs.
Nice. I see that's what your type of content is.
No, I clicked off immediately.
Don't like eggs exploding.
I don't understand the need to browse TikTok for a bunch of 18-year-olds giving 17-year-olds advice. Because that's the difference. It is. They're pretending to be in a different generation.
Gotcha. What's more like,
I mean, would you
25-year-olds giving 21-year-olds advice? Yeah.
I'm dubious of anyone. Like, I'm dubious of taking advice from anyone.
Yeah.
People need a bit more of a filter on these type of things.
I think for you, like if it comes out of a book that's been around for like 10 years, you're like, all right, I'm going to listen to this person.
It's just no intuition. Like, what are these kids doing?
Just chilling out on TikTok, obviously. Trying to figure out what to wear.
I'm surprised the Gen Zs that even go and want to work in an office, to be honest. I thought they were all wanting to be creators.
They don't have a choice. A lot of businesses are making people come into work now.
But you have to work for them to begin with to go to the office.
A lot of people got the remote jobs because that was like ideal for them, right? So they got these jobs to work online, do their job from home or do their job from bedroom. But now COVID is like long gone. People want people back in the office. Like Twitter, Disney, Meta, like all these big corporations are making people come back into the office.
You can wear sneakers at those places.
Yeah.
That's different.
Then all these smaller companies are making people come back. So, you know.
It kind of depends on how much you're earning as well. If you're earning $300K a year, you ain't wearing cons there unless it's a super new wave type of business.
There's actually a fancy cons called New Waves, I'm pretty sure.
All right, we're moving on from this topic now.
It's just interesting. Not interesting, but it's just like a whole generation.
Was that
of like,
a subtle seed to get some new wave cons for Christmas? It's like, why'd you bring that up?
No, I've thrifted 2 pairs of Kongs in the past week. So
New wave though, you need new wave.
nah, I'm not a fan of I think they're called New Wave cons. New Wave cons.
I think you're making things up.
Yeah, they're.
Which ones? These things?
Yeah.
Well, you definitely can't wear those to the
Are
office.
they called New Waves? I can't remember. Yeah, no, they're
called
really.
Runstar.
They're the super expensive ones.
I think you just made something up. There's a pair of Converse with a wave on them.
No, they were just like the wavy ones, but those are the ones I was thinking of.
They're pretty
Pretty crazy looking.
pretty cheap considering
$159.
Converse Runstar motion platform. They are probably the ugliest shoe I've seen in a decade.
They're very bizarre looking. The beige.
Oh man, they're hideous.
Mm-hmm. Seen people wearing them.
Really?
Yeah, it's like the the ugly like Balenciaga like boot.
It's like a Balenciaga Converse, yeah.
Yeah, it's just like that chunky sort of style.
And they're half price for that reason.
But yes, not my style. I like the classic looking Converse. That's me. A little bit of platform.
You've thrown me off. I don't know where to go from there.
Well, did you want to go in the fun one and see if you want a nostalgia blast from the past and see if you remember any of those articles?
Which one?
I think it's the BuzzFeed one, so you know it's legit. Unless you want to go, do you have any other of your ones that you want to talk
I had
about?
some serious hard-hitting hustle news to talk about.
Then talk about it.
Older adults are revealing the pre-90s habits they knew how to do by heart that have... Fucking, what is with these titles for these articles?
Well, like, they're not article titles. They're just like...
Is it an article?
No, it is.
Is it a title?
But it's not like designed as like a proper like headline. It's designed as like an SEO. Like,
oh my God. Older adults are revealing the pre-90s habits they knew how to do by heart that have essentially become obsolete now.
so this is probably someone who works
Oh my
remotely
God.
from home.
Oh my God. Getting a headache just reading it.
Mhm.
Oh no, I'm not doing one of these. They're not even articles. It's just
just
a
photos.
listicle with images. I'm
Yeah.
sorry, I'm not doing that. I don't
I
care.
know
This
how
is
much
fucking
you
my
love
show
that.
too, and I ain't doing that. No more BuzzFeed. I'm calling it right here. Sorry for the listeners. I ain't doing BuzzFeed anymore.
Nah, it's pretty bad.
I want to be sub-serious here.
Yeah, you don't want to have a quiz that tells you.
No, because I know I'm awesome, and I don't need the quiz to tell me that. All right, let's move on. Sorry, I don't mean to be rude to Sarah here, but I ain't doing it.
No, it's pretty funny.
I ain't doing it.
It's pretty funny.
I ain't doing that. Not. Okay, some serious tech
All right.
news. Dun, dun, dun.
That's like a Wade's World one, so I don't know if that's serious. What's
That
the
was more like a nightly news sound.
no? Yeah, you need like the trumpets
Oh,
and
we need to get a
like a soundboard.
soundboard.
Yeah, so you can play sound effects. Dun 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 dun.
We'll have a sound just for when we reject Sarah's articles. Dum dum, like a Deal or No Deal.
Yeah, bow bow.
Bogus.
Bow, bow.
Bogus article. Anyway, no, sorry, I'm not trying to be mean to you.
No, it's funny
What?
that the article was bad.
It's funny for you. You shouldn't
Yeah,
have to be the one
I
that has to
know.
shut it down. You just have to sit there and be like, oh,
Well.
yeah. All right. So TechCrunch.com, Patreon, the
serious company.
Patreon adds e-commerce tools and free fan membership. So this is, I mean, not crazy news, but it's just interesting to see where it's going. You're getting distracted. I'm trying to read an article to you. What are you pointing at?
The one that they chose to pick was Dungeons and Daddies. And when we started off with this, we were like, hey, we need to incorporate dads more.
Okay, I'll give you that. I think that's how way of incorporating dads. Fair enough.
Mhm.
So Patreon, obviously, they're known for paid membership and tiered memberships in terms of building a community around the content that you make.
They've helped a lot of creators just actually create content for their community as well. Like it's been crowdfunded,
Yes.
and without Patreon, they wouldn't be able to release that exclusive content for people. They wouldn't actually be able to.
Here you go. You're on a roll. Yep.
Yeah, they wouldn't be able to have a business or anything as well. It's helped them, I guess, launch their businesses or launch their content and just make it that little bit more.
Exclusive community building
Yes.
and get financed as well.
Yeah, 100%.
So Patreon is rolling out an expansion of its tools for digital creators. Monthly fan subscriptions are Patreon's bread and butter. But later this year, creators will be able to sell one-off digital goods. and offer free subscriptions. So previously, it's mostly just been a tiered membership where you get certain features and benefits for each tier.
Yeah, so you
But
get like
not-
a newsletter or an exclusive podcast or things
Exactly.
like that. Yeah.
But you don't really get a digital, you can't sell things through there. There's no storefront, there's no e-commerce shop per se. And they're also offering free memberships.
Yeah.
So it gives people or creators a way to add more people into their community that want to support but maybe don't have the financial means to do so. So the free to paid conversion path is quite successful. So it's saying, just not everyone wants to pay straight away, but having a free option is a successful route to getting them from free to one of your paid tiers.
Gotcha.
But if we don't have the free tier to begin with, then the jump from zero to nothing, or zero to paying $10 a month is a big jump, as opposed to joining, seeing what benefits are available first, testing the waters, and then paying once you see the benefit.
Try before you buy.
Exactly. Patreon's chief product sorry, that's a previous sentence. Let me start it again. Julian Goodman, Patreon's chief product officer, sees the free subscription product as beneficial to creators who can then use their subscription list like a newsletter or a way to just reach all of their biggest fans at once. And hopefully getting fans into a free membership community will encourage them to make a monthly pledge. As always, creators can choose which perks they want to offer each tier of membership. Creators can actually know who their fans are, have their super fans in one place, and have the ability to post something and know it's going to reach all of them. So Patreon's leadership has been vocal about how algorithmically generated content feeds can sometimes hurt creators. So traditional social media platforms, which we touch on near every week, not everything gets to every person that's subscribed to you.
Yes.
So the mysterious TikTok algorithm can work wonders, but once a creator builds up that following, it can be hard to know whether or not their fans will even see their posts. So that's basically a workaround that Patreon's trying to work into their new model. Instagram has a fundamental choice to make. Are we building a place where people can build deep, intimate, lasting relationships, or are we building a top-of-funnel mass media algorithmic curation platform? So it's is the stuff we're making here to build and nurture a deep, connected community, or are we just feeding the algorithm for views? So it's views and value.
Well, that's something that Patreon's really been trying to build from the start, right? Like it's just a very member-centric fan base hub that people can go to, that because either people like pay for it or subscribe for it, all they're getting is content for them. They're not getting anything else at all. So it's kind of cool that they are making an additional revenue stream, I suppose, to be able to get some extra money in there and money out. But yeah, like when it comes to Instagram or YouTube, your stuff could just get lost. Like your fans, because they don't only follow you, but they follow 1,000 other people, whereas like Patreon's very much more curated.
Well, how many Patreon accounts do you follow?
None at this stage.
Yeah, so the people that you do follow, you're in a tight-knit community of people that have hand-selected them over the potential 100 creators across all the platforms that you follow and you like. To follow someone on Patreon means they're ahead above the rest of everyone else because you've gone that extra mile of tapping into their community. Same as like a Discord group. To go above and beyond and join that group and be an active part of it is very different to just having someone that you're following and you see their stuff from time to time. So it's good for creators that want to build that community, and most of us should, right? Because like you said, like the content gets lost in the feed so easily because there's so much coming out all the time. But if I don't follow anyone on Patreon and you don't follow anyone on Patreon, that means the value of anyone that's on Patreon following you is 10 times or even 100 times more impactful and powerful than just a general follower on a different platform.
And eventually, if you start paying for it, you're going to be more invested because you want to make sure that you're getting like your money's worth in a way. So you're going to be more conscious of it, more engaged as well, as opposed to like a free platform like Instagram, like YouTube, those ones there, you just go in and out whenever you want. There's like no commitment in a way. So it's like a form of commitment.
Well, anytime you get something for free, you don't value it.
Yes.
You take it for granted, right?
Mm-hmm.
So anytime you've got some money on the line, or not necessarily a stake, but you've paid for something, you want to see a return on that money. You're going to chase it up and you're going to make sure it's delivering on what it's promised.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas if you're following someone for free, there's no promise there at all. You're giving them an extra number on their account, but there's no promise from them or from you. There's no promise from you that you're going to stick around forever, and there's no promise from them that they're going to keep giving you exactly what you want.
Mm-hmm.
So it just makes things a lot more tight-knit on Patreon, and having these extra features now in terms of being able to sell digital products directly.
Yeah.
You know that the people that are already on Patreon are more likely going to support than if you just had 10,000 people on Instagram, for example, and then you just make like an ebook and try and sell it.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be a lot harder to transact, or you're going to have a much lower percentage of people that are willing to pay for that product as opposed to Patreon. So I guess Patreon is more closely aligned with the 1,000 True Fans idea.
That's what I was exactly going to say or thinking about as well, is just that core fan base, those people that you know that are going to follow you anywhere and, you know, buy what you sell, you know, listen to what you talk about, just those core group of people. They're the ones that are going to stick around long term and going to follow your journey and be really, really invested in you and then happy to support you as well. Like you want to be able to curate like a membership or a fan base or a community for people that really value what it is that you're putting down. Like you don't want people following you that don't care what you say. I mean, you're talking about it before, the UFC fighter Israel
Adesanya.
Yes, like what you were saying before was he would just like post whatever to try and weed out those people.
I was saying on, I think it was Flagrant, that because he's an athlete and a sports star, we all know that they have their highs and lows and they have huge fan bases, but there's also, even the people that are your fans, subconsciously, somewhere along the line, they also root for your demise or your downfall. So once you do lose, there's a lot of hate that comes through as well, because part of them wants to see someone that's exceptional fail, but on the other side, people want to see someone fail and rebuild. So there's a lot of like concepts and psychology at play there.
Mm-hmm.
But basically with an athlete, for example, they can either win or they lose. You're going to get love and hate on both ends of the spectrum. So his philosophy is he wants to weed out all like the fake fans. The fans that are here now, they're only here because I'm winning. But the second I make a wrong move or have a defeat, they're the first ones to bash on me. So I want to try and just weed out all the fake followers. Whether they know they're fake or not, they don't know until you present them an option where they get to choose if they're a true follower or not. So his idea is he just does things to try and weed them out purposefully. So he'll just post a bunch of random things that he believes in or he thinks is funny or that sort of resonated with him at that moment, that's true to him and his brand, as a way of giving people an option almost to see if they're fully on board with him and his personality and lifestyle, or if they're like, oh wait, I thought I liked him, but this thing he posted is a bit whack and I don't agree with, so I'm going to unfollow. He wants to keep doing that, where you're almost doing like an 80-20 analysis on your followers at all times and just getting rid of the 20% dead weight consistently. That's his philosophy.
Yeah. And then if you have something like a Patreon included in that, you know, those once people are being weirded out, you've got that core group of people that are going to support you no matter what. Like that's what you want. So yeah.
Interesting. So should we, I don't know. We've talked about this jokingly, but we're far too early in the process for a Patreon.
Yes. Yeah. Some sort of like monetary support. We'll get there eventually. We'll do a website, all that kind of stuff. But at the moment, we're just slowly actually now starting to crank out a lot of shorts and like vertical format videos. So if you guys have noticed that we've ramped up our promo, we're trying to anyway to get out there.
As soon as you say trying to, part of us is going to be like, oh, it's a bit we're off the hook a little bit. We're doing it. Yeah. Also, I guess a note to correct that I kept saying Beetlejuice was we should do a what's it called? Not addendum.
No, because I was listening to Armchair Expert, and at the end they do like corrections, right?
Yes.
Yeah, so they do like amendments.
Okay, yeah, it is an addendum, an item or additional material added at the end of a book or document, typically in order to correct, clarify, or supplement something. I failed English, but I just pull in, I just know
You're reading
words.
more, so you're learning
It's not
more
even
big
that.
words.
It's like, you know how someone has a car crash and they can speak Spanish? For some reason, there's like something happened and I just have words.
You just got like a bit of group of words.
I'm not trying to like be like, oh, I'm like got the craziest vocabulary ever.
Or is it
I have
because you've read?
have an inkling.
You probably know that word is because you've read a lot of science tech books, and they probably have a bit at the end where they have like amendments for like facts and stuff.
Well, the book wouldn't be published in that case.
But it could be like, when it's like, version 4, version 5.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Anyway, addendum.
Addendum.
We just Yeah. So what were you clarifying for this week's
Addendums. So Beetlejuice, I kept calling it a reboot, but it is actually a sequel. So
Yes.
my bad.
No
My bad
worries.
on that one.
Forgiven.
Yeah.
Forgiven addendums is
Forgiven. Oh, I love that. Little forgiven addendums. Do you have anything that you got wrong from the previous one?
Of course not.
No. Drew's never wrong, apparently.
I mean, now there's a chance for everyone to jump on the bandwagon and be like, you're wrong here. I mean, I'm wrong all the time. I just edit it out.
No.
That's the key. All right, guys. Thank you for listening. We'll see
Thank
you guys
you.
next week, next Monday for episode 73. Bye.
Bye.